Hello and welcome back to the great changing of wave, folks. I am the heir of Tzeentch, and I hope you all are ready to continue our campaign here. I got to start off by saying thanks to the Killscribe, or as he is here, Killscribe Weaver of Fates in this campaign. He is reporting to us that the Ice Court has taken the lead with 7,308 losses, and soon to be more when I get a chance to go back down south and exact revenge on them for what they've been pulling while I've been in Slaanesh's realm. That'll be good. Then the Tzeentch rebels, of course, at the Splintered City have sacrificed 6,832 victims, our Weavers of Fate, or our plot devices, I should say. Then we've got 6,132 losses to Khorne, 4,090 to Nurgle, and then Saberskin bringing up number 5 at 458. Thanks to Killscribe. You all make sure and leave him a thumbs up. Tell him thanks. He's always keeping track of all of the plot devices that we got going on here, and it is quite a few. So, let's get things started. We are still in the realm of Slaanesh, working our way down to the depths of depravity in order to fight our way out, and that is indeed what we shall do. And of course, there are all kinds of Cathay shenanigans going on while we're gone. Really appreciate Cathay being on my borders and causing me a lot of trouble. And of course, this army cannot replenish because it was hindered. So I love how I get to go 2 turns without replenishing. I mean, I don't have Nurgle plagues in this campaign, which is a blessing, but apparently we still got that. We do have Bloodwind Keep that is under siege from some forces of Slaanesh that came out of the portal. And speaking of, now that the patch has come through, I can build buildings to try and prevent the portals from spawning. We will absolutely be doing that. So let's go ahead and... honestly, this is looking like a pretty good auto-resolve because fighting this may get kind of ugly. I'm going to take the auto-resolve here. And we can either replenish or take the extra favor. I'll take the extra favor for now. I may end up regretting that, but yeah, they did get to walk away, so they may pick up more units. That's not good.
You may touch me.
So I may regret that sooner than I thought. We'll see. Whatever the case be, I can't really do a whole lot of other moving. It says this force hasn't moved. I don't really want to move them right now. I just want to leave them here to keep Cathay honest. So I'm going to skip through that. We've used up all of our grimoires because remember on the last episode, we took Nanli away from the northern provinces because they are growing extremely powerful. And honestly, we're going to need to get Kairos back here, and we're going to have to start putting a whoop on Cathay. They're going to need a little humility, so to speak, here. We've got the City of Splinters, which can be built up. It's potentially going to rebel again. I was going to say it's maybe done with rebellions, but no, it's never done with rebellions at the City of Splinters. We should probably improve its control and defensive supplies. Let's see, income generated is always a good thing, too. I'll take that. You know what? Some extra grimoires at this point. We got to rebuild, so I'll take it. And then very expensive, but let's go ahead and convert this up to a bastion so we can get some top tier stuff there. We're not going to have enough money to do everything, and I'm going to look for stuff that's maybe absolutely critical, but I'm going to take it easy on some of the other spending here. Because we need to hold on to a little money just in case, because we are running pretty close to the edge here in terms of cash. All right, let's see what old Kugath Plague Daddy wants. Hey, I just gave you a province, by the way. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Military access. I mean, I don't really want you walking all over my lands, leaving your stink everywhere. Lucas here. Lucas Pritchard had an awesome comment that I want to read. He says, did you know if you transfer a provincial capital to Beastmen and ally them, you can get free Cygors if they upgrade the Braystones. So that means 4 Cygors in each army you can recruit. Also get some nice Minotaurs. It only works if you play the chicken, though. It's interesting. I'm gonna have to try this because now I'm very curious. It seems like a really brilliant idea. He also says you have to be military allies to get the global recruitment. So we're going to try this. We're going to work on it. All right, so the Tzeentch rebels at Blizzard Peak are attacking, and the auto-resolve is giving me this very easily, so let's just take it, because that's a lot of pink horrors to deal with. So we're going to take it, and we're going to take the extra favor here as well. So we can always use the cash That's going to free up Blizzard Peak. Now the Valerie is under siege by more Tzeentch rebels. And it looks like we can win this one in the auto-resolve, too. We got a pretty stellar garrison here. Golly, that is so many horrors that they've got. Of course, I have a lot, too. Let's go ahead and fight this one, just get a little bit of battle action in there, not to leave you all wanting. Gotta love these sweet cinematic battles with Tzeentch, so I will see you all on the battle map. Alright, well, the forces of Tzeentch are arrayed for a massive battle. The rebels of Tzeentch up against Kairos and his oracles of Tzeentch. Folks, this is gonna be a reign of pastel magic, the likes of which have never been seen, ever. And I don't know that anybody ever expected those words to be uttered either, unless they were a Tzeentch player from tabletop and having the idea of pastel magic reigning. So here it is. I've got exalted flamers. I have pink horrors. The enemy's blue horrors are coming forward. Folks, they're, like I said, this is about to be a magic firestorm of epic proportions, so prepare yourself for probably one of the cooler looking cinematic battles we may have ever had on the channel. So I've got my exalted flamers up since they had long range, and then I used my line of pink horrors with their extreme range to pull the enemy in. They are now in range of the blue horrors, and my blue horrors are going to open fire. Theirs are no doubt going to move forward. My pinks have now repositioned behind, which this should effectively give me not only first volleys, but absolutely overwhelming firepower, which is my objective here. You can see me also spitting out the pink fire of Tzeentch from my sorcerers, and it is raining down into their leader, so the enemy leader is near dead already, and you can see that the line of blue horrors from the Tzeentch rebels has pretty much already been decimated. It's taken massive losses. So a lot of good stuff going on for me here, at least at the moment. However, I did mess up right here. My iridescent horror of Tzeentch is getting absolutely owned. Hopefully that was a garrison. maybe not, I don't remember. And I can't turn on the UI, by the way, because I'm getting that awesome glitch from CA where the UI kills the frame rates by about 75 or 80%. So it's a good thing that we're doing cinematic battles here and not otherwise, because it would be absolutely horrible. So CA, please fix your glitches. Speaking of glitches, yeah, there's too many. Wow. So that was an epic fight there. I've now got some of my blue horrors running out of magical ammunition, so I'm going to have them go forward. I love the look of the magic that comes out of the exalted pinks. It's very unique, a little different from your standard ones. It looks very awesome mixed in there. Yeah, we've got some big-time magical pain that the enemy felt here. And this is going to end up being a massive victory for my forces and a crushing defeat of the Tzeentch rebels. No doubt the kill scribe is pleased as the plot devices ever increase for the Tzeentch rebels, and no doubt going to give Kislev a run for their money. Well, that was a shower of pastel colors, the likes of which we've probably never seen on this channel. Not that I ever expected to be saying anything like that we're seeing a shower of pastels on the channel. Of course, then came Total War Warhammer into our lives. That was really quite the epic magic missile battle right there, so hope you all enjoyed it. We gained some nice rewards, and then we can pick up a little more favor off of that. I think that's what I'm going to do, because the rebels were utterly destroyed, and there's some more plot devices for Mr. Killscribe the Fate Weaver to add up for us. We're going to keep him busy, no doubt. This army has given up, and they're starting to heal. Of course, I'm starting to heal too, so I don't think that we're going to get too much more trouble from them. So it looks like our settlements are safe, at least for now. We fought off quite a few attempts, and Kairos is still replenishing his troops and working his way. We could take a pretty big bribe, but we're not going to. We're going to move on. We're going to move deeper into the depths of the Slaanesh realm and all the way up to the prince's palace there. Look at this. We got sieged at the Ibis of Many Eyes. This is the army that can't replenish right now. That's a bunch of Tzeentch rebels. But yet another army of Tzeentch rebels. One thing I will say is that I appreciate these rebels giving me so much cash right now, and I can't replenish. This isn't going to do much, but I guess I'll take it, since I can't do anything else with that army at the moment because of the stupid hinder replenishment that we got smacked with. Looks like my lords can replenish in that army, and that's going to be about it. We lost a single unit there. Oh, look at this allied recruitment. Boy, that'd be pretty sweet. Having some knights with lances. Seems like that could be handy against Cathay, right? How much, I've got allegiance. I've got a lot of allegiance with them then. Ooh, that's a lot of upkeep though. Yowza. Don't know about that. Yeah, let's just throw our unit back in here. It's way crappier, but... See, Cathay is in here raiding behind my lines. That's frustrating, to say the least. That army, though, is not going to accomplish anything useful other than stealing a little bit of my income. And judge for yourself whether that actually will be useful. Let's open up Infernal Gateway.
Fabulous.
Excellent.
Formidable.
Okay, so sitting on a decent bit of money again. I don't believe any of our settlements are besieged any longer. Well, yeah, it is right here. The challenge stone is sieged. It can easily defend itself, so let's take care of that. Just gonna take the extra favor here. You get a lot of favor from killing corn forces. I don't know why that is. Maybe it has to do with their value, and they have a pretty high value. Like corn troops are pretty expensive to begin with, so it could be. Valerie got sieged, we lifted it, and then this one got sieged and we lifted it. Okay, so all sieges are lifted. This is good news. Let's see here. What were we working on with this army? We got Plague of Rust. We probably want to upgrade Plague of Rust and Searing Doom. Those are two very helpful spells for any metal caster. And that is patchy, is it not? Yeah, Ibis of Many Eyes. I believe that's patchy right here that turned into the Lord of Change. So this is patchy Exalted Changer. Or let's call him the Changer of Salt. So Patchy the Changer of Salt. Got him there. And you know what? For old time's sake, let's have some fun here. Let's bring back some names that we've had before. Let's have Patchy in here with Appius. Let's see, Appius the Iridescent. Iridescent, yeah, if that's how you spell such things. Appius the Iridescent Roman. I can't fit it. Let's just call him Appius the Iridescent. So we got Appius back in here. And then, you know, if we've got Appius, then we've got to have Sextus in the same army. So this is Sextus. This is going to be Sextus the Cultist. Alright, so there we go. So we got Appius and Sextus back together with Patchy, just for fun. Just for old time's sake, folks. And unless you all are wondering where that came from my legendary West Rome campaign on Total War Attila, which, by the way, I would have loved to have finished that campaign because I found the save file, but that game runs at like 3 frames per second. It is terrible. Like, it is really, really difficult to run, and it's an old game, and I do not understand that, and it drives me absolutely crazy. So yeah, otherwise that would have been fun to go back and kind of like finish up a few. I showed an episode of it not too long ago, but it runs so poorly that I don't even really know what the point of trying to finish it is. So unfortunately, that's what we get stuck with. I'm gonna build this because I would like to be able to unlock the building of Soul Grinders. Soul Grinders would be very, very powerful units to be able to pull into our army. A little more melee, and let's start getting some pinks. I might actually start shifting out the blue horrors in favor of the pinks in that army, and just go like Forsaken Pink Horror, because it's going to be a lot more effective combination. I did see some mods out there that bring some mortal units into the Tzeentch faction. If you all would like me to load those mods up, to where we can recruit, say, like Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch. Because, I mean, we do get Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and Doom Knights and some other mortal units, and I think it just added a few mortal units. Like, I want to say they were like Warriors and Warriors with Halberds, stuff like that. things that would make sense. At least I think they would make sense. I don't know, I guess, the lore as much as some of you all do. So you all tell me what you think. If you think that should be something we should load, get down in the comments, let me know about it. And speaking of comments, I'm going to take some more of yours here in just a moment once I confirm that we've moved. Which it looks like we have. All right. Let's get to the next comment here. So appreciate what we had from Killscribe and Lucas. Those are very, very handy. And the next comment here was from Kane Yusanagi, who says, Air, regarding Nurgle, you can make some truly legendary poxes that are ridiculously strong when playing as them. And this is because I was saying how I felt like Nurgle was the worst faction in the game, by the way. He says, even early on, and the AI really just does not properly take advantage of that mechanic. From everything I've seen, he says, so basically the AI Nurgle is just really bad at reacting. Slow but high HP units not reacting quickly when the AI changes their mind, effectively missing their entire major mechanic. Now that may be the case, and I hope so. Hopefully Nurgle is not terribly awful to play, but I know when playing against them, they seem like the most inept crap faction that I've seen in a long time. And that's saying something, because I think we had, what was the name of that Rome 2 faction that everybody always, the RDA, whatever they were. People talked about how bad they were. And to me, Nurgle feels like they're up there now. No doubt a player can always do something better than the AI, so I'm not surprised the AI struggles to take advantage of some of the mechanics. That would be the case for every faction, really. So we're going to move down into the lowest circle. We could take this massive payoff and go back home with it. Some good stuff in there, honestly. It's some really good stuff. But we're not going to do that. We've made it all this way, so we're going to move on. So Kairos is down into the bowels of Slaaneshi territory. Yes, I have to say that just as a fun Slaanesh joke, right? Is it fun, though? Probably not. This Cathay army is kind of cut off behind enemy lines. They do have a couple of fire rain rockets. Cannon. Those are sky lanterns, not sky junks, fortunately. Do I have the means to destroy this army? I mean, I probably do. These guys are doing the same thing now, just trying to hide and replenish, but this settlement is replenishing faster than they are, so they're in bad shape. I think Patchy's army is finally replenishing, so this is good. And Cathay is kind of holding on their borders. They seem scared to come after me, as well they should be, and then I'm hoping this really causes some issues. Part of the reason why I stuck Nurgle back here is because I wanted him to spread plague all over Cathay and just really mess with them. I'm hoping that's what we get out of that. There's no guarantee. No guarantee. All right. Fortress of Ice. So we are very close to being able to bring Kairos home, and boy, do we need him home. I'm going to let Patchy go ahead and replen some. How did our income go down there? We were because we finished recruiting some units. That makes sense. You actually have to pay for your units, Air. I know. It's wild. Wild and crazy stuff. A couple more pinks and Forsaken. We're gonna need all the armies we can get. I think we can go ahead and end another one. I'll get a couple more of your comments here. I'm hoping that I can kind of just take care of this final battle in the Slaanesh realm, and then the next episode we'll start the Grand War against Cathay. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna kind of ignore the portals on the next round probably, and I'm gonna just really take the fight to Cathay. We're gonna have the Grand War against Grand Cathay. You know what? Sure, I don't need any other enemies back here. All right, Francesco Lagoya says, gotta say that glowing Kairos makes him look even more pastel. Yeah, I've seen that weird glitch also on Bloodthirsters and Scarbrand. It's something that CA needs to fix. Speeder says Patchy's name has been changed after morphing into a Birdman. His name is now Ibis. He should get his name back. Well, I took care of it for you, and appreciate the comment reminding me. Thank you. And then not only that, I brought Appius and Sextus back, which those of you who are long-term viewers will probably enjoy. All right. Alas, I'm going to attack with Alas. Speaking of, we should bring back, surely we have people that had other cool names and stuff from the campaign. You all bring back, what other classic campaign character, like from the Archaon campaign, can any of you all remember, for instance? We'll rename this guy after that. If you can get it down in the comments, we'll rename it. Let's go over here and wreck these Cathay pretenders. Really nowhere for them to run. And then we got a reward for doing this as well. It says medium casualties. That's a little bit stupid, to be honest, but
Battle brings change.
whatever. I'm not going to fight that one. I should have, because we definitely took the worst of it in that regard, but wow, the kills on that. Apparently, they think their Celestial Dragon Guard is just better than me. Holy cow. I don't know how the AI is programmed, but that is utterly obscene. I mean, I could see maybe the artillery have gotten a few kills, but who programs the AI there at CA? Huh? What is, or the auto-resolve, I should say. What is going on with that? The Infernal Gateway. Let's start doing this here. If there's ever anything that reduces your attrition, you usually want to pick that. We don't have that available to us, so you get extra income from raiding, which, you know, that could be handy coming up against Cathay. And then it's extra income from raising settlements again. Could be handy in the upcoming fight against Cathay. Let's do that.
More power to me.
Staff of Change. Enemy killed in battle. Speaking of, I do need to take a look through the equipment. I may end up doing that on the next episode. I'm going to go ahead and take Kairos. And we are going to dive into the battle at the Dark Prince's palace here. It would let us auto-resolve it. I'm kind of glad it does let people auto-resolve these, because they are very long, and sometimes people don't feel like sitting there and playing at all. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm not going to ignore these in this campaign, so we're going to fight this, but honestly, that auto-resolve is probably not terrible. But let's go ahead and fight, and I'll see you all at the Dark Prince's palace here. Alright, at the Palace of the Dark Prince, the battle is underway. I don't expect that this battle is going to look good. It's going to involve a lot more melee, and they always do, because there's a ton of choke points on this map, and some of the best strategy you can employ, at least in my opinion, as Tzeentch in these battles, is using your supplies to get extra magic and healing. And then you essentially just use your single entities as blobs, and then you use Tzeentch's Firestorm and the Infernal Gateway to just utterly banish the resulting enemy infantry blob. So you can see that that's what's happening here. Exercising what I preach. And we're going to absolutely destroy the Slaaneshi forces. And we'll move forward to the second piece here, where we're going to capture the first statue. So the first statue's been captured. I built several towers, and I've just got my forces sitting back. I'm letting the Slaaneshi forces move in, so that, again, I can crush them. I don't really love the positioning on the map here, you know, because it doesn't make it as easy for me to just choke up everything. Because we have enemies coming from multiple directions and kind of staggered throughout this wave. Like, they don't always just come right in one pack, making it easy for me. Look, I got Soul Patchy out here blocking all these Seekers. He's going to take a lot of damage in this fight, as is the Kill Scribe. But no, I won't get those units killed, believe it or not. Sometimes it's probably harder to believe it rather than not. But no, I won't get those units killed. Yeah, the Slaaneshi force is just going to kind of keep randomly charging against us. I'm going to use Kairos, Krang, Soul Patchy, and Kill Scribe to block charges. As necessary, I'll bring my Screamers in to help mop up the large targets like these Seekers. Seekers cause tremendous damage. They don't have much staying power. Same with those Chariots. They cause a lot of damage. They really don't have the armor to stick around, and that's going to be the ultimate weakness for Slaanesh in this battle that you really have to capitalize on. And I really like Forsaken to capitalize on this. Forsaken do tons of damage against unarmored targets, and basically you can use the gold weapon upgrades by saving up your supplies. Gold weapon upgrade your Forsaken, and they become just completely dominant on the battlefield because the Slaaneshis like to come naked into battle, basically. Or as my son put it, those metal swimsuits. So yeah, in any case, coming naked into battle has consequences, and we're going to make the Slaaneshis feel those consequences. Unfortunately for us, I think Slaaneshis do like to feel consequences. In fact, they like to feel pretty much everything, so this is some type of grotesque enjoyment for them, despite the fact that we are cutting them apart, bone from sinew, and we'll also be banishing them back into the Chaos Realms using magic where necessary. But yeah, the first bunch of troops that Slaanesh sends forward here are just going to all meet their demise piecemeal. You can see Killscribe burns some of them alive. I guess that they are alive because they're immortal. I don't really know how to classify demons in terms of living or not. That didn't come up in biology. In any case, that's going to be pretty much it. We're going to have an easy defense of the first statue, and I'll show you what we do to take the second one. The second statue, I went ahead and dropped the Tzeentch's Firestorm to get the enemy infantry moving. This is kind of like some, it's kind of like, you know, unblocking a clogged bow with laxatives here. I guess if I'm going to put it in a disgusting way, which I think we should, just because I need to gross you all out every now and then. I feel like it's my duty as both a dad and a lame joke YouTuber here. So I'm going to get the enemy all blobbed up. This is going to be a lot of rinse and repeat, so I use my Chaos Knights. They're going to be sacrificed for the cause here. That's okay. They enjoy being sacrificed. That's part of the life of a Chaos Knight. Infernal Gateway once again. Now, Firestorm of Tzeentch will ultimately cause far more damage even than the Infernal Gateway. But again, because the Slaaneshis decide to come to battle naked, they are extremely vulnerable. You don't even have to overcast these spells to get the extra armor piercing. It just causes tremendous damage. But the problem with Tzeentch's Firestorm is it also causes friendly fire, which Infernal Gateway does as well. Infernal Gateway is stationary, whereas Tzeentch's Firestorm is not. And so you can sometimes cause a lot more friendly damage to yourself than it's worth. So there we go. We cleared out the second statue, and then we'll just have to fight wave 2. Now, the second wave is inbound, and they're already doing something that I like. They're having to come through, as the map gets more choke-pointed, it makes it more difficult for me to use magic missiles, kind of, but it also does make it way easier for me to blob up all of the approaching enemy forces. So I'm going to bring Kairos and Krang down to do just that, and here comes even more Seekers and Demonettes. They're going to all be running up here, and this is going to make them a perfect target for another Infernal Gateway. Look, I swear, Tzeentch loves it. They just all pile right in when they see the Infernal Gateway. I think this is a new pleasurable sensation for the forces of Slaanesh. They enjoy this. Having their bodies ripped apart, shredded, and vanished into another dimension. A giant eyeball looking down at them, which again, all of this probably just brings them pleasure. So I feel like we're doing them a favor. They came to this battle hoping to experience something, and we're going to make sure that they get the maximum experience here. So there we go. Tzeentch's ever-watching eye is over the battlefield, and Wave 2 has already taken crushing losses. Speaking of crushing losses, check out Krang over here, if I can find him in the middle of this fight. Here he is. He's already got 481 kills, so you know how well he's going to perform here, and the answer is very well. In fact, I was running out of magic even because just so busy killing Slaaneshis. So I had to keep calling in more magic, and it's almost like we can't pile it up fast enough, but I guess that makes sense for someone playing as Tzeentch. What a beautiful show of pastels and barrier hits and everything too. Tzeentch has got to be one of the coolest factions to play with from a just cinematic standpoint. You can see I summoned some blue horrors right over here to help hold these forces in place. Slaanesh is starting to figure it out, trying to pull through my little trap here, but I'm not going to make that easy for him. Now, meanwhile, on the other side of the battle, I have upgraded my Forsaken, by the way, up to the gold weapon upgrade. Let's take a look at their stats, by the way. This is pretty sick. They've got 87 weapon strength. Oh, man. Gotta love it. So, yeah, 87 weapon strength against a faction that doesn't wear armor. You can imagine how that's going to go whenever I have 60 entities per unit at that 87 weapon strength. So it's going to get real ugly real quick. for a bunch of naked, marauding cultists of Slaanesh and demons. I even threw the pink horrors in here at this point because why not? My screamers are down in here too. And yeah, so wave 2 is gonna also be pretty unsuccessful at stopping us. Now, the final grotesque statue here that we need to capture, and let's take a look at this statue. I guess this is the Slaaneshi statue to commemorate the time that the Claw people defeated the spiny tentacles, or, I don't know, made some kind of arrangement with it and then went on a date. I mean, whatever happens, who knows? And then CA, look at these popping textures. You gotta love that too as we go through. So there's some great CA please moments there right there. So, oh boy. Anyway, so the beautiful waterfalls of blood in the background. Here comes my forces lining up and getting ready to dish out some pretty severe punishment to the forces of Slaanesh guarding this statue to whatever it is. And the Seeker here, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, I should say, is going to be absorbing a lot of, I never remember if it's pink or blue fire of Tzeentch, whichever one it is. I think it's blue fire, actually, even though it looks kind of pink. And of course, it is very good against large targets. And since hosiery was the only armor brought by the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, it is no secret that this Keeper will be dead very quickly. And the rest of the forces for Slaanesh here will be very vulnerable to my blob and destroy policy, and that's exactly what I'm going to be enacting now as these Seekers go charging up the hill. I'm going to catch them with Kairos and Krang, stop them here, create the blob, and then here comes the Infernal Gateway. And remember that Krang was already up around 400 and some odd kills, so this is really going to solidify his performance in this battle. Look at the blob they got set up for this, by the way. That is a beautiful blob. This is precisely how you delete large numbers of enemy units effectively as Tzeentch. So rest in pieces, you sweet demonettes of Slaanesh. We barely knew thee. And just know that Apache really does not care what happens to you. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that was pretty much most of the forces guarding there. Look at that. 699 kills. It's not over yet either, folks. Don't you know? There's gonna be more. But the final statue is ours to capture, and then we need to fight the Daemon Prince that comes out and steal his soul.
The courtesan appears.
Alright, well, the Daemon Prince of Slaanesh has appeared here wearing the, I guess the mandatory metal armor that only covers the barest spots of the chest and the loins, thus leaving the wearer vulnerable in every respect, but looking quite good, you know? Because when you're serving a Slaanesh, you gotta look good, as Sigvald has taught us. So the Daemon Prince came in, took a whole bunch of blue fire of Tzeentch, is taking fire from my Exalted Pinks, is now going to be completely mobbed by my 3 Lords of Change and 4 Screamers. And then meanwhile, the enemy infantry is being kind enough to move around in basically one giant blob here. And you all know how I feel about Slaaneshi infantry blobs. I'm very much in favor of them, especially when they're within range of Krang. So the Daemon Prince is already on his way to the grave. I appreciate him being kind enough to donate his soul to the cause, as well as the rest of these demonettes who are now just about to donate themselves to the cause as well, so they will be stopped, no doubt tortured of the mind, while they are sent back to the immortal realms, the way that they came in, which I assume is kicking and screaming. like most of us. But Krang is adding to his kill count here. No doubt the kill scribe is enjoying that. So another giant blob of Slaaneshi followers absorbed into the nether. You can see here that the remainder are going to charge forward, and they will be met by a huge horde. I think I have 8 units of Forsaken. They're rocking the gold weapon upgrades. I just about had enough cash to put gold armor upgrades on them too, but then, remembered that most Slaanesh units pierce armor, and despite the fact that it gives some damage resistance, that would probably ultimately not be worth it. So I decided to hold off on that. So with most of their wave having been destroyed in the Infernal Gateway, the Daemon Prince utterly bogged down and going nowhere quick in this fight. In fact, he is very nearly dead. It leaves my forces free to kind of just blob up and destroy whatever's left. There is no possible way the infantry here for Slaanesh can cut through, or even for that matter, the Heart Seekers, everything else that runs in. There's no way they can survive the huge damage that we're going to be putting down on them with the Forsaken. So the Daemon Prince falls, and then my Air Force is able to land and help further destroy the infantry that was already most of the way up you-know-what creek without a paddle. And folks, that's going to be a very successful invasion of the Dark Prince's realm. At the end of this, you will not see the cutscene where we get the Daemon Prince's soul. There will be some cutscenes back in the campaign map. During this battle, I actually had my graphics software crash, which then created these giant black spots on the screen, which actually made it really difficult for me to finish the battle, but I did. And I think we finished it quite well, all things considered. Anyway, I will see you all back on the campaign map, where we will have claimed the soul of the Slaaneshi Daemon Prince. Okay, I had a weird crash happen while I was playing the battle, so I don't have some of the footage, the cutscenes that happen in battle that won't happen in replay, so you all may have missed some of that. But regardless, it was a heroic victory. I'd like to point out that Krang here, coming in with 19,223 damage dealt and 81,763. That is just incredible. That is some incredible stuff. So Krang coming in clutch, and of course the OP Forsaken all doing their job as well. We could take the unit replenishment here, but I don't really think we need it that much. I'm just going to snag the extra favor and get on back to our lands. It's been too long since Kairos has touched the ground there.
So, Be'lakor has rebuilt his throne of old. But to what purpose? He has no followers, no army. Even the Chaos Gods abandoned him.
Does something amuse you?
You sit in your little chair, but what power do you really wield? Hidden away, deep in this forge.
Hidden. Your roar was felt across the world. A god's carrion will attract powerful scavengers. Let them come. The essence of the slain will be repurposed into an army.
It cannot be. Be'lakor controls the Forge of Souls. He intends to build an army of the most twisted manifestations. Soul grinders.
Your Chaos Masters will not allow it.
I have no masters! The Chaos Gods are forbidden to enter here. Be silent while we wait.
Wait. For what?
For you to die.
Am I the only one who thinks the bear should just start rambling on annoyingly, telling dad jokes one after the other, talking about his gigantic bear god bowel movements, and basically anything else he can possibly come up with? I for one would be a huge fan of that, and would find it quite entertaining. Looks like Kislev's got some forces here. It's not great, so it transported me back to where I went into the portal. So we may end up having to fight for our survival here against Kislev, but the good news is it puts me in position to take back what was ours. The bad news is that
A third soul
that's
now
quite a ways
lies
away from
tethered in
where
the
I need to be
pages
fighting
of
Cathay,
my
and I don't really want to deal with
Yet
Kislev right now.
Be'lakor, previously consumed by his own machinations, now strikes out at the threats arrayed against him. Gears turn in the Forge of Souls once more, and the Dark Master sends forth armies of soul grinders under his command. We must be ready.
Armies of Soul Grinders. Sounds like fun. In any case, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We got some stuff done. We finished the realm of Slaanesh. We built up our defenses. We are going to be much stronger at holding out against Cathay now. We can kind of get focused on them. We've got some changing of the ways that really messed them up, and then we picked up quite a few more grimoires as well, so we'll continue to change Cathay's fates. And I will see you all next time when we continue it here in the ever-changing of ways. Heir of Tzeentch, signing out for now. I'll see you next time.